Now at 10, Steve Bannon, a longtime ally of President Trump, is set to turn himself in after he was indicted on 2 counts of contempt of Congress. Plus, 4 state holiday shoppers start early to avoid potential shortages caused by supply chain issues. And the modern explorers discovering caves beneath Roaring River.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Steve Bannon, a longtime ally to former President Trump, is expected to surrender to authorities on Monday to be arraigned. Bannon was indicted today on 2 counts of contempt of Congress after defying a congressional subpoena from the House committee investigating the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. As Skylar Henry reports from Washington, Bannon is not the only one to reject the committee's call to testify.
The federal grand jury indictment accuses Steve Bannon of 2 counts of contempt of Congress. It comes after Bannon snubbed a September subpoena from the House committee investigating the January 6th assault on the Capitol. In October, the House voted along party lines to submit criminal contempt charges against Bannon to the Department of Justice. The committee alleges he appears to have played a multifaceted role in the events of January 6th and had specific knowledge about them, including this warning on his podcast, January 5th.
All hell is going to break loose tomorrow. It's not going to happen like you think it's going to happen, okay? It's going to be quite extraordinarily different.
This is an important step for the Department of Justice. And I do know people thought it was, a attorney general decision. I suppose ultimately the buck stops with him.
President Trump's former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, had until Friday to respond to a subpoena from those same House investigators. He was also a no-show. Committee chairs Benny Thompson and Liz Cheney issued a statement saying Bannon's indictment should send a clear message to anyone who thinks they can ignore the panel or try to stonewall its investigation. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
The Justice Department says each count of contempt of Congress carries a maximum of 1 year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. Republican lawmakers have succeeded in forcing a Thanksgiving week special session of the Kansas legislature to consider financially protecting workers who refuse to comply with federal vaccine mandates. Legislative leaders announced that all Republicans in both the House and the Senate have signed a petition demanding a special session starting on November 22nd. Governors call special sessions, but the Kansas Constitution requires them to do it if 2/3 of both chambers demand it and the GOP holds more than enough seats. Doug Heddy, it is cold out there.
It is, and it was windy for us today, so it made it feel colder than what it actually is. But now our temperatures are dropping. We're going to continue to drop as we go through the overnight hours tonight. 52 is our high, but that was a midnight high. We hung out into the 40s all day long. We eventually dropped to 42, but our normal high is 60 degrees. Had a lot of clouds, even some flurries spitting out there during the afternoon. Most of the clouds are working out of here. Eventually, we're going to have clear skies a little bit later on tonight as this whole storm system wraps up and heads away from us. But it is cold. Temperatures sitting into the mid-30s. We have these northwesterly winds. At least the winds are diminishing just a bit. But eventually, by morning, 28 degrees. So fairly cold, 36 by 10, 47 by noon. High temp, smidge warmer than what we saw today at about 52 degrees. Of course, we're going to look at our next chance for rain here in just a bit.
See you then. 4-state shoppers are getting a head start on holiday gifts in Webb City, Missouri. The downtown Webb City Holiday Merry Market is underway, and the Webb City Chamber of Commerce says things are off to a good start, with the city seeing an increase in sales taxes compared to 2020. Chamber also says they've heard local shoppers are getting a head start on shopping because of supply chain issues making national news, and businesses participating in the Merry Market who spoke to us agree with that assessment.
Do you hear people saying they have concerns about what's going on over in California?
Yes, we get people all the time asking if we're not getting our stuff in, but I feel like we have pretty much been getting our stuff.
The downtown Webb City Holiday Market continues tomorrow. A new prescription for Johnson & Johnson as it announces a split into 2 companies. One will focus on its consumer business, which sells Band-Aids and baby powder. The other will focus on its faster-growing business, pharmaceuticals and medical devices. That division will retain the J&J name. The spinoff is expected within the next 2 years. And that is a look at our top stories and weather in the first 7 minutes of KOAM News at 10. Still ahead.
Divers in Cassville, Missouri aim to shatter records for their deep underwater discoveries. I'm Bronte Sorotsky with how they aim to do this, as well as their discoveries they've made here at Roaring River.
A team of divers in Cassville, Missouri aims to go deeper into the springs at Roaring River than anyone ever has before. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky spoke with divers at the springs to learn what they discovered deep underwater.
A team of divers in Cassville, Missouri is on a mission.
We've gone deeper here than anyone else has ever gone.
The divers' journey begins here at the Roaring River Springs. From here, they'll go down to 230 feet below the surface.
That's the equivalent of like a 23-story building as far as how deep underwater we are.
It's down there that the team of divers called KISS, Keep It Super Simple, discovered a massive room.
There's a small tunnel, and then it just starts opening up. And it's opening up into this room that we have no idea how big it is because we can't see. You know, on the best time in there, we could see about 30 feet, and we could see one wall and sometimes the ceiling. But we could not see the bottom, and we cannot see the other side.
The team is recording their discoveries with the hope of turning them into a documentary.
And we're exploring. So we're creating a map of all of the unexplored area.
Randall Purdy, a videographer for the dive team, says the room they found when diving is unusual, to say the least.
Typically water is going to keep going in one direction. So for the idea that the water has come in and eroded this giant chamber and then found a way out basically in the middle of it, that's what's really weird about it. Last time we were here, we actually, in that room, we went clear to the surface. That's another one of those things that doesn't happen very often. We've got these really bright spotlights, and they wouldn't touch any of the walls. They wouldn't touch the walls, wouldn't touch the ceiling, wouldn't touch the floor. So, I mean, it's literally just a giant open abyss. We weren't expecting to find anything like that. Like I said, it's really unheard of to find big cave after a small, tiny restriction. That's kind of unique.
The team says they will continue exploring this abyss until they can get to the bottom of it, if they ever can. In Cassville, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Wow, no place for claustrophobia. Tomorrow, the dive team's going to attempt to beat the record for the deepest cave dive, aiming to dive more than 462 feet underwater. Doug's going to be right back with the complete forecast, but first, we take time to honor a local veteran. Sergeant Spencer Johnson served in the U.S. Army. His hometown, Neosho, Missouri, and we are proud to salute Sergeant Spencer Johnson. He's tonight's four-state hero.
Well, it's definitely been a chilly Friday for us today. We had some showers late last night, got a little bit of sunshine during the morning, right back to the clouds, some flurries spitting about during the afternoon. It feels like November. We're not used to it yet, but in a couple months, today won't be a bad day whatsoever. Nice shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Friday night, parking lot filling up. Even though it is cold outside, you probably want to be inside. Temperatures dropping, 34 in Nevada, 36 in Neosho, 37 in Miami, 35 in Pitt. Chanute checking in at 36 degrees and windy all day long, so this made it feel colder than what it actually was. The winds have diminished a bit, but still, there's a little bit of a breeze out there, so we have a little bit of a wind chill. It feels like upper 20s to 30 degrees to your skin, and of course, the actual temperature is going to continue to drop tonight. Outside, right now, 7th and range line, 35, northwesterly winds at about 10. Humidity is at 64%. All the thicker clouds we had earlier today, most of these have pushed off toward the east, so we are starting to clear out. And eventually we'll have clear skies later on tonight behind this storm system heading away from us. And if we look out toward the west, here's our next little wave right over the ridge and then slides right in tomorrow night into Sunday morning. Not a big deal, just give us some clouds, maybe a random shower. That should be about it. Cold start, upper 20s. For tomorrow morning, I think we'll have plenty of sunshine, a little bit warmer than what we saw today. 28 to start, 47 by noon. High temp of 52. Plenty of sunshine. The winds go from the northwest and crank around to the southwest during the afternoon. Tomorrow night, clouds start to increase again. It's that next weak little wave, and maybe a stray shower is going to slide in. Most of this is going to stay east of us, but I wouldn't be surprised if, especially on the Missouri side, we get a stray shower. And then Sunday in general, not bad, mid-50s for highs. Sunday night into Monday morning, the winds start to shift out of the south, and that's going to change things up on Monday and Tuesday. That means 60s on Monday. That means 70 by Tuesday. So a pretty big switch. We get a weak system in here on Wednesday with a few showers. Cooler on Thursday. Another system we have to keep our eyes on by Friday with some rain chances. So those two systems we'll watch next week. 52 tomorrow, 55 Sunday, 60s Monday, 70s Tuesday, and then cooling right back down late next week.
So you're saying we should enjoy the relatively warmer weather when it's here?
Yeah, because it doesn't last very long nowadays.
That's very true. Thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, it's district championship night for Missouri high school football, and a Southwest Missouri standout pitcher signs to join the Pitt State softball program. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
Well, tonight is district championship night for Missouri high school football. Now, it should be no surprise where we're starting tonight. The Carthage Tigers host the Webb City Cardinals for the Class 5 District 6 crown. Now, this one is a rematch from the regular season. Carthage got by Webb 42-14 back in September. First quarter, fourth down for Carthage. Caden Cabance threads it into Hudson Moore. Gets the first down. Cabance finishes the drive. Short touchdown run. Carthage up 7-0. The next Cardinal possession, ball on the ground. Max Williams picks it up, returns it for a touchdown. 2 turnovers for Webb City in the first quarter. Tigers up 14-6 after 1. The second quarter, Cole Vaden throws it up to Dante Washington. He shakes off a guy and scores for Webb City. It's 14-14 at half. We're still tied in the fourth. No kidding, it's like 3rd and 40 for Webb City, but look at Cole Vaden. Rolls over the defender. Keeps going, actually picks up the first down inside the 5-yard line. Moments later, Vaden reaches across. Ball knocked out, but only after he breaks the plane. Cardinals have a 21-14 lead, but Carthage not going away quietly. Luke Gall takes the direct snap here, and you know what he's about. 24 yards to the house. We're tied again. It's 21-21. After a Webb City punt, Carthage ball. Cooper crouches a dog, and don't forget it. Read that somewhere. Crouch recovers the fumble for Webb City. Then, with 30 seconds to go, Vaden back to work. He will cross the goal line for the game winner. And that's it. Webb City wins it 28-21. That is 22 consecutive district titles for the Cardinals. The Joplin Eagles on the road tonight facing Lee Summit North for the Class 6 District 3 championship. Both teams 10-1 coming into the night. Joplin gets shut out in this one, falling 21-0. The Eagles end the season with a 10-2 overall record. Well, the Lamar Tigers have once again been dominant all season long. The Tigers are 10-0 this year and have won 21 straight games dating back to last season. Lamar at home tonight, Class 2 District 4 championship, facing Fairgrove, who is also undefeated at 11-0. Eagles march down the field on their opening drive, then they fumble. Cameron Sturgill jumps on it. Lamar takes over on the 14-yard line. Later on in that drive, 1 yard to go, Joel Beshore keeps it for the touchdown. 7-0 Lamar. Fairgrove has the answer. Cody Stacy pushes his way in to tie the ball game. Then we'll start the second half still tied at 7. Austin Wilkerson runs it in. Lamar pulls away in the second half. The Tigers are district champs 35-7. Well, this season has already been a historic season for the McDonald County Mustangs. McDonald County is 10-1 this season. Those 10 wins are the most in program history. The Mustangs looking to keep their season alive and claim their first ever district title on the road against West Plains. The Zizzers offense starts hot. Second play from scrimmage, Connor Lair getting up the sideline, breaks a tackle, goes 64 yards to the house. Mustangs, though, respond quickly. Cole Martin finds his guy Levi Malone. A little dime there. Martin then takes it 16 yards here on the quarterback keeper for the touchdown. That ties the game up at 7, but that's as close as it would get for the Mustangs. The Zizzers pretty dominant all night on both sides of the ball here. Dagan Kinslow hits Lair for another score. He gets 3 touchdowns on the night. West Plains wins at 42-7. They claim their 3rd district title in 4 years. On the Kansas side, showdown between 2 undefeated teams in the 3A state quarterfinals. Girard on the road against Holton. Trojans fall short tonight, 36-0. Girard, man, such a good year. They end it with a 10-1 overall record. Same bracket, different game. Frontenac on the road against Rock Creek, aiming to move on to the state semifinals. Second quarter, Rock Creek 1st and 11 on the 31. Dalton Whitworth connects with Ethan Burgess, game tied at 7. Later in the quarter, 5. Colin McCartney hands it off to Justin Compton. Weaves his way through the defense and into the end zone. Frontenac now on top then. Mustangs got the ball back. It is 3rd and long. Whitworth finds Dagan Vendeska. Vendeska narrowly outruns the defense for the touchdown. This one tied at 14, but Frontenac pulls away in the second half to advance to the semifinals, 42-26 the final. When we come back, more high school football playoff highlights with Seneca and Commerce trying to keep their seasons alive. Plus, it's the opening night of the season for Pitt State and Missouri Southern basketball. As we go to break, though, here are a few more high school football playoff scores from across the area. The Seneca Indians have enjoyed quite the turnaround this season. After going 3-7 last year, Seneca is 7-4 in their first year under head coach Cody Hilburn and has a chance to move on to the state quarterfinals tonight. Seneca on the road facing Mountain Grove this evening, the Class 3 District 6 championship. First drive of the game, Indians waste no time. Jackson Graham punches it in from a few yards out. Seneca up 6-0. On the ensuing drive for Mountain Grove, Tyson Elliott scrambles. He will pick up the first down. Panthers now in the red zone. A few plays later, Elliott finds Holland Glenn, makes a move and strolls in for the 10-yard touchdown. Panthers take their first lead 7-6, but that lead doesn't last long. Ethan Fritchie keeps it, gets to the outside and in for the score. Seneca goes on to beat Mountain Grove, winning the district title 24-18. Class 4 District 7 here in Nevada on the road against Lincoln College Prep, looking to earn a district title. Nevada can't get it done tonight, falling 41-18. Tigers end the season with a 9-3 overall record. The Commerce Tigers have been one of the best teams in Northeast Oklahoma this season. Commerce has won 6 games in a row, finishing the regular season with an 8-2 record. Now, that record has earned the Tigers a home game to begin the Class A playoffs, facing the Pawnee Black Bears. Pawnee acts fast. Jake Mitchell keeps it. Gets in easy. They would add the 2-point conversion to make it 8-0. Commerce ball now. Grayson Shelton fakes it, keeps it, pushes through, tackled in the end zone, but he crossed. Tigers within 1. Now in the second, Black Bears trying to add to their lead. Nicky Caesar fighting his way in for the score. At that point, Pawnee up 24-7. Before the half, handoff this time, Malik Barber. He's able to get across. At half, it's 32-7, and Pawnee would finish it off. They beat Commerce 50-13. Elsewhere in the Class A playoff bracket, Quapaw on the road against Woodland in round 1. Quapaw sees its season end tonight, 52-18. Wildcats end the year with a 7-4 overall record. Tonight is the opening night of the season for Pitt State and Missouri Southern basketball. On the women's side, Pitt State is in Weatherford, Oklahoma tonight, facing Oklahoma Baptist in their first game of the season. Now this one is final. The Gorillas win it 62-53. How about Tristan Gegg, man? The Labette County High School product, career high 36 points tonight for Pittsburgh State. The Missouri Southern women open the season at home tonight, facing Henderson State. It's Haley Grant driving for the first points for the Lions. Then Lacey Stokes. She had a big night tonight. Down court to Amaya Johns for the lay-in. We're tied at 29 in the second quarter. For Henderson State now, Gracie Raby takes it to the lane. Big lead for the Reddies. Now time winding down on the clock. Pass goes to Haley Grant. She gets the final bucket of the third quarter. Lions take the lead going into the final frame. Henderson State, though, comes back to get the win tonight, 81-74. The Pitt State and Missouri Southern men play in the Central Region Tip-Off Challenge tonight in Kansas City. Missouri Southern drops their opener to Upper Iowa, 96-83. Stan Scott scores a team-high 20, while R.J. Smith adds 15. Pittsburgh State men face Winona State in their first game in Kansas City. The Gorillas fall in that one 79-68. Isaiah James leads the way for PSU with 16 points. Well, today is a big day for McDonald County High School senior Madeline McCall. McCall signs her letter of intent this afternoon to continue her softball career in college. And McCall signs today to head to Southeast Kansas and play for the Pittsburgh State Gorillas. McCall has been an outstanding pitcher for McDonald County. She's a three-time first-team All-Region selection. She was also first-team All-State and the Big 8 Pitcher of the Year her senior season.
There's no ceiling on her potential, especially with the way that she works. We refer to her as a gym rat. I don't know if there's a gym rat in softball, but she's here all the time on her own, putting in extra work. So as long as she continues that, there's no telling where she'll get to at the college level, but we'll be excited to watch and see where that goes.
It mentally prepared me for the next level. My coaches were great, and they worked with me, and all the countless hours that we spend in the barn working on pitching, hitting, and I'm really thankful for all that I got here.
And that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks for staying up late with us, and don't forget local college football tomorrow. Pitt State finishes their season at Fort Hays State, while Missouri Southern travels to Washburn. But for now, that's it for us. We'll see you back here on KOAM tomorrow night.